Welcome back to G Fun Facts Online, the podcast where we dive deep into the most fascinating corners of science and history. Today, we're cracking open ancient cold cases, peering into the lives of our ancestors, and uncovering secrets buried for millennia. How? Through an incredible field called Paleo-Forensics. Imagine CSI. But instead of a modern crime scene, the investigators are working with archaeological sites that are hundreds or even thousands of years old. Paleo-forensics is exactly that. It's the ultimate detective story, bridging the past and present by using cutting-edge modern scientific techniques to analyze ancient discoveries. It's not just about solving mysteries. It's revolutionizing our understanding of ancient civilizations, human evolution, and even specific historical events. So what are these amazing techniques? Let's dive in. First up, the rock star of paleoforensics DNA analysis, or as it's sometimes called, paleogenomics. This is arguably one of the most revolutionary tools we have. Scientists can now extract and sequence what's called ancient DNA, or aDNA, from things like ancient bones, teeth, and even sediments. Now, it's not easy. Ancient DNA is often degraded and can be contaminated with modern DNA. But thanks to incredible advances, like next-generation sequencing and specialized extraction kits, we're getting results that were once thought impossible. What can this ancient DNA tell us? So much. It helps trace lineage, understand ancient population movements, and reveals admixture events. That's when different groups met and mixed. It's literally helping us reconstruct the human evolutionary history. It can even identify specific individuals from the past and uncover family relationships. For example, aDNA was instrumental in confirming the identity of King Richard III, whose remains were famously found under a car park in England. Beyond identity, researchers can identify pathogens present in ancient remains. This gives us incredible insights into the diseases our ancestors faced and how those diseases evolved over time. And scientists are constantly developing new methods to distinguish genuine ancient DNA from modern contamination, which has always been a major hurdle. Next, let's talk about seeing the invisible. Advanced imaging techniques allow us to peer inside ancient remains and artifacts without ever having to damage them. Think of CT scans, like those used in hospitals, and high-powered digital microscopy. These tools allow for incredibly detailed, non-destructive examinations. We can see injuries, pathologies, and the overall condition of bones. They can even reveal perimortem injuries, things like fractures or cuts that happened around the time of death, helping to determine the cause of death in these ancient cases. Then there's 3D imaging and facial reconstruction. Using 3D scanning technology, scientists create highly accurate digital models of skeletal remains and artifacts. This allows for those amazing, precise facial reconstructions that help us visualize individuals from the past. It's fantastic for engaging the public and can sometimes even aid in identification. A particularly innovative technique is near-infrared hyperspectral imaging, or HSI. This non-destructive method can quantify and map the presence of collagen in archaeological bones. Collagen is essential for radiocarbon dating, so HSI helps scientists select the best samples or even parts of samples for dating. This minimizes the destruction of valuable and often rare bone material. And how do we find things buried underground without digging up entire sites? That's where ground-penetrating radar, or GPR, comes in. GPR is a non-invasive tool used to detect buried remains, structures like graves, walls, or foundations, and objects, all without excavation. This is incredibly helpful for planning excavations and understanding the layout of ancient sites. Moving on to isotope analysis. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat." And isotope analysis proves this, even for people who lived thousands of years ago. By analyzing the isotopic composition of elements like carbon and nitrogen in human or animal remains, scientists can reconstruct dietary habits, whether they were primarily herbivores, carnivores, or had a marine-based diet. But it's not just about diet. Strontium and oxygen isotope analysis can provide information about an individual's geographic origin and help track migration patterns, as certain isotopic signatures are associated with specific regions. Let's consider chemical residue analysis. This technique analyzes microscopic residues on artifacts, like pottery or stone tools, to determine what substances they came into contact with. This helps archaeologists understand how objects were used, what they contained, or what materials were processed with them. Imagine finding out an ancient pot once held wine, or a specific tool was used for grinding certain grains. Of course, we can't forget radiocarbon dating. While it's a long-standing archaeological tool, advancements continue to refine its accuracy. When applied in conjunction with other forensic techniques, it helps to accurately date remains and contextualize all the other findings. An interesting side note, forensic carbon-14 dating can even be used for more recent forensic cases due to distinct fluctuations in atmospheric radiocarbon over the last 50 years, partly due to things like nuclear weapons testing. Then there's paleomicrobiology. This is the study of ancient microbes, often sourced from fascinating places like coprolites. That's fossilized feces. While it might sound a bit gross, coprolites are treasure troves of information, revealing details about paleo diets, cultural differences, and the gut microbiome of ancient populations. Understanding DNA degradation patterns in bacteria could also, in the future, help determine the post-mortem interval, or time since death, in ancient contexts. Even something as seemingly simple as fingerprint analysis has its place. Preserved fingerprints on ceramics, created when a potter shaped the clay, can be analyzed. This technique, one of the older forensic methods, can help in understanding site timelines and potentially even identifying individual artisans from the past. And finally, dental microwear analysis. Our teeth essentially keep a record of what we've eaten and how we processed our food. By examining the microscopic wear patterns on teeth, scientists can gain detailed insights into an individual's diet and their food processing techniques. The true strength of paleoforensics lies in its multidisciplinary approach. It's not just one technique in isolation. By combining archaeological excavation methods with techniques from forensic anthropology, genetics, chemistry, and imaging sciences, researchers can reconstruct past events and lifestyles with greater accuracy and detail than ever before. This can range from understanding the health and diet of ancient populations to solving cold cases that are centuries or even millennia old, like determining the cause of death from skeletal trauma. And this field is not standing still. Recent advancements are pushing the boundaries even further. There is ongoing research focused on enhancing DNA recovery, improving methods to extract usable DNA from highly degraded or scarce samples, including those from challenging environments like hot and humid climates. New single-molecule sequencing techniques are emerging to improve data quality from degraded ancient DNA without needing PCR amplification, which can sometimes introduce errors. Sophisticated bioinformatics tools are crucial for reconstructing and analyzing ancient genomes, especially when closely related reference genomes are absent. Paleoimaging, that specialized area using advanced imaging for cultural artifacts and human remains, continues to see advancements, offering new non-destructive ways to uncover hidden details. The future of paleoforensics will likely involve even more integrated analyses, where genetic data, isotopic information, skeletal analysis, and the archaeological context are all combined to create more holistic and nuanced narratives of the past. There's even an emerging concept called One Paleopathology, which promotes a holistic, interdisciplinary approach to understanding health through deep time. It looks at how human, animal, and environmental health are interconnected, using insights from past diseases and climate changes to inform present-day health strategies. So by applying the rigorous methodologies of modern forensic science to ancient discoveries, paleoforensics not only solves ancient mysteries, but also provides invaluable context for human history, our evolution, and our relationship with the environment over millennia. It's connecting us to our ancestors in ways we never thought possible. That's all the time we have for today on Fun Facts Online. I hope you found this journey into paleoforensics as fascinating as I did. Join us next time for more incredible insights from the worlds of science and history. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for listening.